Hello, I am your Kingdom Spiritual Transformational and Life Purpose Life Coach and Mentor Latricia Booker. And I'm popping in on you to tell you that they take it as an attack. They take it as an attack. And so, Kingdom people, I'm going to leave this message with Amos 3:3. And it says, can two walk together except they agree? And so, Kingdom people, listen. God was bringing to my attention how sometimes when you're in a friendship, relationship, even child parent relationship, siblings, co-worker, it doesn't matter. Whatever kind of ship you're in, what happens, Kingdom people, is that in a working, healthy relationship, for it to be a healthy, functional, working relationship, you have to be able to communicate, and you have to be able to come to some common agreement or resolve. Like the scriptures say, it says, can two walk together except they agree? And I believe the King James Version says, how can two walk together except they agree? And so, Kingdom people, when you're communicating with people, if there's an issue and you bring up something, or you're trying to resolve something, or just want to get some understanding on something, you feel a need to present something to get clarity, whatever the case may be, and the other party or parties are not willing to hear you out and to discuss it, communicate, and come to some understanding, it doesn't make for a good relationship. It doesn't make for a good outcome, because you're not coming into agreement on anything. You're not coming to any resolve for you to be able to move forward in whatever the relationship is. It can't be a fruitful relationship if you can't talk and communicate. And that doesn't mean that you just go along to get along. In some instances, that can happen just for the sake of not wanting to cause any outbursts, but that actually can end disastrously if you're not careful. I'm reminded right now of how in a certain situation, I didn't even think of this before until now, but I was in a certain situation, one of those ships, and this person was just do these outbursts. They were just not very, they were controlling, and they were not very receptive to me moving around them. And so when they would sense this or see me attempting to do that, they would like really blow up and be crazy. And so for years, it kept me just going along with this person just to keep the peace. But again, it got to a point where I just couldn't do this person anymore. And of course, they totally blew up and just, yeah. And, that was one situation. In another ship, I would try to talk to this person and communicate with this person about things that were concerning me, things that I could see. And this person always took it as an attack. And they would actually say, you're attacking me. But it wasn't that I was attacking them. I was pointing things out to them. And here's the thing. Unless you can acknowledge something, you can't do anything about it. In fact, I know in that ship, God brought me into this person's life to help them. This person had even mentioned that they had prayed, sharing me a prayer that they had prior to me, us meeting, where they asked God to send them somebody in their life that could help them. And what they didn't understand was God was helping them on all levels. God knew this person had a lot of issues. They know this person needed a lot of healing. And so, of course, he sent me, and I was working on myself, working through things, healing through things, and doing all that, with myself. And so trying to communicate with this person and point out things, they were taking it as an attack. Anytime I would try to communicate, they literally took it as an attack, and it wasn't that. To make a long story short, which I'm not going to go into the story, that turned in me, started getting a little combative. Of course, I end up having to get out of that. That's not the way to go. It started making me be a little, I was trying to force it and trying to make the person get it and see. And they never did. And I realized that they wouldn't, because that's not the time that they were on. And for me, I was on God's time. I was trying to do things God's way. And they were on demon time. They were doing the devil, wanting us to do things the devil's way. And so I'm saying all that to say that we couldn't agree. We were not in agreement. So, of course, that relationship fell apart. I'm thinking of oil and water. It's the same thing. Light and darkness. How can two walk together unless they agree? Oil don't agree with water. It separates naturally. You pour oil and water together, it's going to separate. It makes me think of a vinaigrette. You can put it together and mix it, but it's still going to separate. You will have to mix it before serving for it to give the effects that you want it to give. But anyhow, the thing is, Kingdom people, when you point out things to certain people who are not receptive to the truth, to hearing things about themselves that maybe problem areas, I'm hearing the truth hurts. And for some people it does. Now, for those of us who are open to healing, we are working on ourselves. We're proactively working on ourselves on purpose. We want to hear the truth. We want to hear it, even though sometimes it can hurt. We want to hear it so we can do something about it. But these people who take the truth as an attack, because that's what they do. They take it as an attack, Kingdom people. And the truth is, you can't really work with people like that, because you're never going to come to any kind of agreement. They just kind of want you to go along with whatever they're doing, like I said before, just to keep the peace. And that's unhealthy and dysfunctional, and it can actually cause you to be unhealthy and dysfunctional. It also can cause you to be unstable, mentally, emotionally, because that affects your central nervous system and your emotion. That affects you. And so the thing is, that's what they want you to do. They want you to go along so they won't have to do no work, so they won't have to make any changes. And again, if a person is unhealed, if a person is not working through their inner conflict and dealing with those traumas and issues and willing to change, nothing is going to change. It'll only get worse. Thus, any relationship that you're in with people like this, it's going to get worse. The relationship is going to get worse. Even abusive, because it is sort of abusive. And if you're a person who working on yourself, you can't be in a relationship with someone who isn't. In fact, they'll try to keep you from working on yourself and moving forward. They'll try to get in the way of that. They also get jealous because you're doing that, as if you're keeping them from doing it. You're not. They're just not willing to do it. And so, Kingdom people, when you even work on yourself and they're aware, they take that as an attack. They take you working on yourself as an attack. And it's not that you're working on you. You're trying to do better for you. And that's in any situation, Kingdom people. You don't even have to be in a relationship with people and they just aware of you. Y'all know these randoms that be aware of you and they just in the vicinity or whatever, and they're watching you and noticing you, and you're wanting better. You're doing something with your life. You carry yourself a certain way. They take that as an attack, Kingdom people. They take that as if you're attacking them. But again, it's because what it really does reflect to them where they're not doing the work they need to be doing, first on themselves, within themselves, or could be outwardly as well. And so when you choose to do better for yourself, when you choose to, I'm even here to take the high road, because sometimes when people try to bring you down to their level, trying to throw you off your square, trying to get negative reactions out of you, and you don't respond in the way that they're trying to get you to, they take that as an attack. That's where sometimes that who do you think you are comes in at. That's sometimes where, oh, you think you better. Again, even like I said, trying to improve yourself and do better. People will start saying it, even if you're hanging with a group of people or you're around certain people and you realize that it's not really the best space for you to be in and you want better. And so you start making changes. Many a times if you don't separate yourself from that group or whatever the case may be, and you start making changes, they will get bothered because they're not making those changes, and they will take it as an attack. They would take it as an attack, and they would say, oh, you think you better. Oh, you, whatever the case may be, who you think you are. And sometimes it's wise, I've learned that, to separate yourself when you know you're getting ready to make those changes. Now, here's the thing. They'll still say, you think you better. You switched up on them, which you did. You know why? Because you switched up on yourself. You're making changes. You're doing better. And so, you know how they say you can't heal in the place that caused you the problem, the trauma in the first place. You can't change in a place that's not making any changes. So, here's the thing. As I was saying, you cannot walk together with anyone if you all are not on the same page. Think of a business. If you are in business with someone, partnership, how is that business going to run smoothly if you all cannot agree on certain things? Now, there has to be communication. You have to talk about things. You have to problem solve. And you have to come to a resolve on anything in business or anything that comes up, any decision you have to make. Again, any problem you have to solve, you have to communicate and come to a resolve. Now, if there is friction, if you're not able to agree, that's going to cause problems. In fact, if you're in a business relationship with the wrong person or the wrong people, and you're trying to make changes, or you're pointing out certain things that are our problem that need to be attended to, they even may take it as an attack, simply because either they don't want to deal with the situation and make the necessary changes, or maybe they don't see it as a problem. Sometimes it's ego. It's their ego. Again, what does the ego do? Feel like you're attacking it. So they will attack whatever you're pointing out as an attack. Again, that does not make for a good relationship in any kind of a dynamic. And so, sometimes, Kingdom people are aware that you have goals, you have dreams, you're moving forward in things, and they're not. I kind of said this already in a certain way, but I'm speaking specifically about when they're aware you have dreams, goals, visions. They don't. They will take that as an attack. Those who don't want to make the changes. Now, see, there are some that will be inspired by you and say, oh, and that's in fact what the whole thing, what God's purpose is for it, is for them to see you, see what you're doing, and be inspired to make changes in their own lives. And in fact, Kingdom people, we've been inspired by others. We've been inspired about things we've seen. We're being inspired, and it motivates us to make changes in our lives. We don't get bothered. We don't take people doing well in life as an attack. In fact, if you take things, I want to say this, if you take people doing well in their lives as an attack, you can't do well in your life. But here's the thing. Before I could even get that out, it hit me that people like that are not even trying to do well in their lives, which is why they take it as an attack. They don't want to do well. They want things, but they don't want to do well, do the things to get the things, or to get the seemingly well picture, if that makes sense. So when they say you putting in the work, when they see you just being of a great character, a person of integrity, a person who's not on lower level type of things, you putting your mind and your intention to things that really matter. You're not into gossiping and drama and being on nonsense. You're really focused on things that matter to you and things that's going to help move you forward in life into a better place, into a better situation. Furthermore, well, ultimately, what God has for you. his purpose for you. And so when that's where your attention is and what you're focused on and you're moving in that direction, people that are not doing that, they take that as an attack. Now I want to hit on one last thing that God reminded me of today. I shared here not long ago about how sometimes, should I say recently, sometimes I may be speaking on something, nothing in specific, or I might be playing music. And ear hustlers in the vicinity, one in particular, but there are a few, but one in particular, God has been showing me that they take anything I'm saying, it may not even have anything to do with them. If I just say, I said the other day how I want to plan a certain kind of vacation. I can't say what it is, but I said that I want to do certain things. I have certain goals that I want to accomplish before I take this specific vacation. It's kind of like work hard, not so much hard, but put in the work. I don't like to say hard, but it's a saying that go, work hard, play hard. But I want to put the work in so I could put the play in. I say it like that. And so I'm at a place where I'm working towards that vacation, but it's for after I accomplish certain goals. So that's my way of rewarding myself. And that's just something I mentioned, and an ear hustler caught wind of that, me just saying that. And God showed me how they took that as an attack. Why did they take that as an attack? Because their mind is not on things like that. They ain't thinking about working hard or they don't have goals. You know, some people just walking around bobbing their head in life. They're just existing. Even if they go to work, some people just go to work just to get a check. And I ain't saying there's anything wrong with that per se, but if you don't have any other dreams or aspirations, or, you know, you're not feeling self-fulfilled, they tend to take it as an attack when you're doing something different. You know, again, unless it's someone who would be inspired by that and realize, I probably need to, you know, have some goals, set some goals, or, you know, I would suggest getting in touch with God so that he can show you the way, show you what he has for you. But we're speaking about these people that take it as an attack. And so in that same realm, I want to say, I guess, you know, I mentioned how I played music, and this person got offended because of some music I was playing. And it was saying, like, make the devil out of a liar. And it was like the walls are tumbling down. This being like a few weeks ago or so, maybe around a month ago or so. And this person had got offended. God showed me that. And the other day, I had been listening to a few songs that I had added to my playlist, and heard them in the car. And I remember, let me add those to my playlist. And one of them is I got the VICTORY. I got no reason to fear. I got Jesus on my side. I got that. And it's a part towards the end where he say, every time you look up, you gonna see me winning. Every time you look up, you gonna see me winning. And the other song is Unstoppable by Corin Hawthorne. And so, yeah. Excuse me, y'all. I was having some technical difficulties. And so, anyhow, we're good now. Corin Hawthorne, Unstoppable. I'm unstoppable. I get all the way in. That's the way I was made, and I'm standing on my business, something like that. Anyway, God has shown me the night before, he literally gave me to play those songs in the morning. And because I was already listening to them that evening, and he gave it to me, play it in the morning. And God literally showed me that the ear hustler was going to hear it. Now, I didn't do it for this reason. I just follow God's instruction. Do you know, kingdom people, now I'm just going about my life and my day. I start playing the music when I'm in the bathroom, and then I put it on the speaker when I come out, so it can just kind of be open. And Not really loud, but you know, if you right there in by the door, so to speak, walking past, you can hear it some, and especially if you're really trying to listen, like the ear hustler do, the monitoring spirit. And so that's what happened when they came out. The first time they walked past, they heard VICTORI, and every time you look up, you're gonna see me winning. When they came back, they heard unstoppable. And so God showed me they got offended. They felt like that was an attack. They took it as an attack. Now, man, y'all man in my own business. I'm speaking and rocking to what I'm speaking and declaring in my own life. I'm feeding myself, lifting myself up. And it is God's will for us to win. It is God who keeps us, who makes us unstoppable. Mind you, again, God showed me they took it as an attack. Well, that's what the enemy does because they're not on that same page. Furthermore, I'm just going to say this. This is a person that has tried to come against me, stop me, block me, doing witchcraft and all kind of stuff to no avail. Their life is in shambles, not mine. In fact, I'm unstoppable. And kingdom people, so are you. So when you keep it moving, when you stay unstoppable, as I say at the end, we unstoppable, unmovable, unbreakable, and untouchable. Just understand, they take it as an attack. Them ones that ain't on that. They don't walk up right before God. They ain't on that on God's time. They on the devil's time. They on demon time. We on Jesus' time. And so they take it as an attack because you on God's time and they're not. So again, how can you walk together unless you agree? If they too busy taking things as an attack because you on what you on and they on something else, y'all can't be on the same page, and you're not going over there to the page they on, because we don't walk with the devil. We're not Satan's child. We have been in our being healed, delivered, and set free. So we walking on God's time, and that's what we're going to continue to do. And so we can't walk together because we don't agree. We don't agree with the devil and his ways. And so, kingdom people, they take that as an attack because you're not coming into agreement with them and the ways they're walking in and what they want to do with you and what they want you to do and where they want your life to be in shambles. You not moving forward in the things of God. They take that as an attack. And that is all I have to say about that. So if you like this video and or if it resonates with you, please just go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Then click on that subscribe button to subscribe to my channel if you have not already done so. Thank you. Make sure you go ahead and ring my bell. Ring my bell. Ring my bell so that you can receive a notification every time I upload a new video. Kingdom people, if there's any information you need to know about me, you can find all that right down below in the description box along with other helpful resources. Kingdom people, thank you all so very much for being here. Thank you for all your likes, subscribe, shares, for all your comments and feedback, for all your financial contributions to my channel, and for all the seeds that you sow into me and my ministry. Kingdom people, thank you. Kingdom people, I love you all so very much. I really don't want to leave you, but I do have to go right now. But I will be back to hold my kingdom people down. Now, kingdom people, above all else, let the Holy Spirit lead you in all things at all times. Kingdom people, we are untouchable, we are unmovable, we are unstoppable, and we are unbreakable. Kingdom people, keep going, keep growing, and go and be great. That is our time. This Jesus girl is out. Shalom and peace.